All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's more than one medium to my FX Buddies. There's audio, there's video, there's the blog. Yes, the blog, which is hosted at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. So if you are wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a more description, open, info, intro, something of that nature. Click on that and another box will open and there'll be a link to the blog because I know it's easier to just do a one-click thing than try to type all that in. All right. And I do see there it says never miss an update. Subscribe today. It's free. So I don't know. I don't know if that works. I see it there, but I don't know if it works. But anyway, because I don't update regularly, yeah, you should subscribe to wherever you catch me, and then you'll be notified if all things work, right? Like they're supposed to. Then you'll be notified. Anyway, that's my closing, and I shouldn't be doing that there. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna get into this. I really tried yesterday to do a post because there was one or two things worth posting, but I didn't know if today was going to be a busy day because tomorrow is another holiday over there. It's Army Day. I think it's the 104th year of recognizing their army, but I'm not sure exactly what that it, I have watched the ceremonies before, and it's usually like a parade, a really big deal. And Sudani's there, and or the prime minister, right, attends, and they salute him, and there's an air show and things. But that's usually like in the morning. So then that leaves the rest of the day to possibly be a regular day. I'm not sure. I don't know if the banks are open or not. But we'll find out. But so I wanted to post today in case tomorrow there's more news. All right. So that's today is Sunday, January 5th, 2025, and this is being recorded early enough where it should post for Sunday, but it's going to cover Saturday and Sunday news. But the first article, the article for today, for the title, is from today, the Iraqi dollar. Let me see. Let me just unplug that while I'm doing this. I don't know if you can hear that noise. Anyway, I just unplugged. Anyway, the Iraqi dollar and the first day passed peacefully. The central bank is innocent and devoted to the dinar. So it's pretty good. I have this image here. Oh, one thing I forgot to explain. So I post the video here on the blog, but if I post it too high, then the image doesn't show in the thumbnail, right? So I usually post it like for this one, it's gonna be way down. So it'll be down here. I'll post it right here in front of Dr. Mahmoud Dagher, economic expert. So if you go to the blog and you're expecting the video to be right at the very top, it's usually not. It's usually the image that's there. So scroll down a little bit and the video's there. It just makes it easier to follow along with the blog because I know some people don't. It's hard for people to understand me or follow me. But if you have the words right there with the video, I've been told that helps. All right. So today was, I thought it would be first regular day of business, but I think even the ISX is not opening until tomorrow also, let me see. I thought I had written it down, but I can get this really quick. Oh, they put some new articles there. Let's see. The ISX, will be closed until January 6th. Yeah. So it's not open today. So even the first day of ISX trading is tomorrow. See? So the Army Day holiday, even though when they announced it, they said it was a holiday for all Iraqis, there's still, I guess, essential services, probably banks are open, things of that nature. But yeah, all right. So I thought today would be the first full day back to work, right? But no, it looks like the 6th will be. All right. So they put this in the newspaper. This was an article in the newspaper, and this is it's in Arabic, I know, but it's the numbers that matter. So let's just read this. The first day passed peacefully. Dr. Mahmoud Dagher, a prominent financial expert, commenting on the first day of official work after the New Year's holiday and the start of implementing the decision to cancel the dollar selling platform for traders and companies, which had been controversial for 20 years. See, because we haven't done that to another country, taken them over and did this dollar auction where we knew people were smuggling money. Okay, but if you're one of those people that totally don't understand all of what just happened, this is a great article to read. So, according to Dagher, who managed the operations of the central bank for many years, so he must be a previous CBI governor, the platform's function has changed from being a seller of dollars to Iraqi companies to an intermediary between Iraqi banks and foreign correspondent banks, JP Morgan and Citibank, which will be responsible for auditing and approving the transfers instead of the CBI, which has cleared its responsibility in this way, according to an understanding with international institutions, which is the IMF and the World Bank, the U.S. Federal Reserve, and is currently devoted to taking dinars from Iraqi traders and converting them into dollars to be transferred to foreign banks that have begun to organize Iraqi trade. So transferring them is now the terminology instead of selling. Before they had to buy dollars. Now it's just a transfer. So I bet you there's no cost, right? There's probably no fee, no cost. So, all right. Let's see. That is, here, the last sentence. The currency selling window will remain, but its mission will not be to sell dollars, but to convert dinars into dollars. And there was no problem in the market today. Yeah, right. I don't believe that. We need to hear what the people have to say. But hey, and actually, when the closing rates for the evening were down, the parallel market were down to like 15.10. So during the weekend, it had jumped up to 15.30. And if they're putting 15.10 in writing, possibly they're charging 15.30, but at least it's going down. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, so this is something they definitely wanted the people to see. Like I said, they put it in the newspaper, and not only the economic section either. It was in the news. I haven't really been watching their TV, so I don't really know. And when I did look at it, it seemed to be, it was stuff in black and white. So I don't know. if they were talking about the army, it would make sense. They would be, giving a history of the army, but they're talking about Parliament right now. So yeah. All right. So that's what I did. Now this was the article that was going to be the lead article for yesterday. Sudani receives a special message from the T-Man, Syria, Iran, and the factions. So there is something going on. I'm not going to go over this, but so Sudani has been trying to get over to Iran since January 1st, and they keep putting him off. But it does look like Wednesday he's going to be there. And at first they were denying, no, he's not bringing any message from the T-Man. And now it's open. It's out in the open. There's even an article which will come up. Oh, wait, here. Al-Sudani's visit to Tehran carries a special message. So if you want to read that, you can, because I'm not going to go over it here. But there does seem to be a group of people Iran wants wiped out. So there's been this article where they've been talking about ending the species, taming the species, getting rid of the species. And I was like, what are they talking about? And I'm not sure which group it is, but that's what it seems like. So we'll see after. I'm not even going to worry about it until after Sudani goes and comes back. Then there's another little surprise. We'll see as we go on. Okay, oil and gas law resolves pending issues between Baghdad and Erbil. You think? So it's not saying that it is resolved. It's just saying, hey, we thought about it and we realized that if we get this deal dealt with, everything else will fall into place. Is Iraq facing a cash crisis? So this has been going around also for about a week because they haven't paid certain people. Come to find out, it's not just that group of the Kurds. There's some retirees. There's 3 groups. Some of the they call it social people, which is like welfare. Some of the retirees, but at least the retirees are just waiting for November, I think. The Kurds that haven't been paid, they're waiting for 3 months of pay. So they're like, you must not have the dinars to pay us. So there must be either a cash crisis, liquidity crisis, and even though they brought out Mohammed Saleh to say, no, everything's fine. Look at all this gold we have. Look at all these reserves we have. There's no cash liquidity. This happened before, right? Not even, I think, 2 months ago. So here we are again. And then there's a economic expert saying this may happen for the next 3 or 4 months until they get until it's set and everyone is on the new program, the new, what are they calling it? Enhancing balance program, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it's just some of the people. It's not all of the people that are not getting paid. And they also were talking about it's up to $15 billion now that Iraq is losing money because of the pipelines that aren't flowing. Yeah, so there's a lot in that article if you want to read it. And here's my one commercial. Buy me a coffee. There's a QR code and then the words there are a link if you don't like QR codes. Okay, this also is still yesterday. Mohammed Saleh came out and told the people we have unprecedented growth in 2024 for non-oil GDP. And that is important for the IMF and the World Bank. They put pressure on really all the oil producing countries that they have influence over. They tell them it's really dangerous, that you're only focused on your oil revenue, especially with, we just made that, we being the West, the Western world, just made that big push to go green energy, renewable energy, whatever word you want to call it, which we are now doing a reversal on. You can just look up lots of, who was the first? There was one retirement program that was like, no, we can't do this. We owe it to our shareholders or retirees. They expect to have money here when they retire. And this ESG stuff you want us to invest in is losing money. But it's like a lot just across the board now. Well, and because the next admin, if they get in and set up the way they want to, is drill, baby, drill, right? So other places are shifting to that. Okay, so it was like the end of the year, it not admissions, but bragging on the accomplishments of 2024. Here's the Securities Commission guy talking about all the good things he's done with the ISX. And then there's another one, Samir al-Nasari. He wrote one of all the good things that the CBI did. So, all right. Here's today's article, Sunday, January 5th. New steps by the central bank regarding dollar transactions. So, economic expert Safwan Kwase revealed today, Sunday, that there are new steps by the central bank to enhance transparency and global openness. We always like that, right? So, he has a little different explanation on the new platform. He stated the Central Bank of Iraq and the U.S. Federal Reserve are moving towards authorizing Iraqi banks to contract with international auditing companies instead of relying on the dollar selling platform alone. With the aim of auditing credits and transfers before they are implemented. Oh, and one thing I forgot to tell you, they did actually put cash in the system today. Go back up there. So that's one thing that's different than yesterday. Remember yesterday they only did the amounts that were going to enhance balances abroad. And then in the second section, it said there were 7 banks that participated. Well, today, this middle number here is how much dollars, cash, they sold. So that is a little different. And we'll keep our eye on that. Yeah, but remember what I said, if they don't put dollars in the economy, that dollar rate is going to go up. So is it a good thing, bad thing? I don't know. But what is good is this is one of the things that Sudani can say, I told you this was going to be done by the end of the year, and it is done by the end of the year, right? Now there's a lot of other things that people can say, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. But I think this is a major thing. It's been 20 years they've been doing this auction, and now it's done. It seems like overnight, but it was not overnight. They gradually did it, I would say, over 2 years, right? So people are asking, well, what's the significance of that article? And that's basically it, to say he did something he was going to do. Okay, so I didn't like this, how it said platform alone. So, I think they still have the old way back there just in case they need to fall back on it or revert to it. That's what it sounds like to me, but who knows? So, This step is a turning point that contributes to drawing a clear map of the work of Iraqi banks on the global stage. Yes, we like that. We want even more things to happen, right? And as they deal with international correspondence and financial guarantees, in addition to instant transfers, which enhances their position in global markets. So no more of this waiting a week or 2 weeks or even 3 days. Now, provided everything is right, passes the pre-audit, your transfer is done. All right, and then one more thing. The central bank attaches special importance in the next stage. What's the next stage? I don't know. To increasing foreign currency reserves. All right. So now here, we haven't seen this guy in a while. On a secret, again, how secret is it if I'm reading an article about him? But on a secret visit, Ka'ani in Baghdad, carrying several files, including the restructuring of some armed factions. You know what? Maybe that's who the species are. Duh, it just hit me. Let me see. Maybe that's who it is. So there is a problem. There's militias, which they call armed factions. They're Iranian backed, but they operate in Iraq. They have headquarters and everything in Iraq. Well, Mr. T-Man wants them gone. And Iran is like, no, that might even be a red line for them. So that's one of the things that they're talking about. But yeah, so he's there. It looks like he's meeting with Sudani. Let's see, I just saw Sudani's name. Okay. Earlier today, the Office of Prime Minister Sudani announced the latter intends to make an official visit to Iran next Wednesday. So here he is. He's bringing whatever information he's bringing. Sudani's telling him. Now, I don't know, but this is how things have worked in the past. It just comes out after the fact. So Sudani's telling him whatever he's been told by the T-Man or Blinken or whoever. And I'm sure there's talking back and forth, which is a good thing, right? We want some of this negotiated as early as possible. And then he'll go Wednesday and possibly have some final words for Iran. Possibly he'll be telling them, look, this is the way it's going to be. What are you going to do? I don't know. We'll see. All right. So interesting. And then this is Fuad Hussein, the foreign minister. He met with, look at this lady's name, Elizabeth Kennedy Trudeau. Anyway, preparations for holding a meeting of the Iraqi-U.S. Joint Committee to activate the Strategic Framework Agreement, which I thought was already activated. Is there another one? Are they on a different part? Part A, Part B? What? I don't know. But, and then also he met with someone from Britain too. But I just didn't want to print that because I don't want to run out of time. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Here is the Private Bank Association guy. They're about to rehabilitate Baghdad. They're calling it the Old City, and it's going to provide a lot of jobs. But I don't think it's going to be made to look all modern. I think they want to keep that looking kind of dated. That's why it's saying the Old City, maybe? Or that's what they're saying. The project to rehabilitate the Old City, right? So I don't know. I haven't really seen any models of Baghdad. This is interesting. Iran invests $1 billion. Now, How are they having $1 billion to invest in an oil field? So you might want to read that. Here is what I was talking about on Nusari. Monetary policy indicators for 2024 confirm that the central bank is the first economic institution in Iraq. Yeah, we knew that. But so if you want to read their past accomplishments, he's got a nice, long, detailed wrap up of that. Okay. I don't normally report on Venezuela, but since, now some of us have the Bolivar in our coffers, he is going to be asked to be the president for a third time on January 10th. And it'll be televised. So, yeah, thought that was interesting. Here, so we're almost done. The Houthis announced targeting Ice Cream Land, a power station with hypersonic missiles. So I think this, I'm not exactly sure because they show the guy whose name is Yahya, the man that I keep calling, oh, the little Houthi man's on TV yelling. His name, I believe, is Yahya. He came on Friday, and it's usually within 48 hours, but it seemed this had already happened. So I don't know exactly when. And Israel, Ice Cream Land, still, they don't ever acknowledge they've been hit. What they say is they intercepted a missile. But somehow, the Houthi guy, they have footage. So is it real footage of something that's been damaged or fake? I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me that Ice Cream Land would not show damage, right? Because they don't want to look like this small group is having victories, right? Okay, and this article here, I think you should read. People wonder why I think if they don't do this by January 21st or 20 whatever, it could take until June. Here's an article. If you read it, you'll understand why. It says Iraq and the curse of the second term. You know whose second term. The sanctions button is under the T-Man's finger, and Iranian smuggling embarrasses Baghdad. So not only do they smuggle money to Tehran, they sell Iranian oil under the Iraqi tag. I didn't know that, or if I did know that, I forgot. So it's quite lengthy, but actually it's not. The sentences are there was a longer one. Matter of fact, let me show you. There was one paragraph. Is this it? This one is long. I'm not even going to post this one, but let me just read you the last paragraph. The risks are enormous, the report said, but it considered that the gains of a stable Iraq and a more secure region are worth the effort. The road ahead of Iraq is fraught with challenges, but its capabilities are undeniable. Through strategic partnerships and wise leadership, Iraq can move beyond its troubled past towards a future of stability, prosperity, and true democracy. Even though, oh yeah, that is them. They are a democracy. Okay, so the title of this, but like I said, I'm not posting it. This is obviously an old picture, right? Iraq as a strategic opportunity for the T-Man. Two crucial questions and a call to dismantle the hushed. So I think that is when it says species, it's looking like people want done away with these armed militias. So it's not Iran, it's other people. Anyway, that's just a side note. Okay, so one last thing to close out with, a fun little thing And where do I always put the fun things? At the very bottom. So this group, this B as in Berry 1M, they are British, and they do a list of the 25 most important giant projects in the world for 2025. And guess who has the number 10 and 11 positions? Iraq does. Yeah. The port is number 10 and the CBI building is number 11. So right here where I have the link, by the time you get to the blog, it will be the video. The video will be embedded there. There it is. 2025. And so, see, they start with that. So I'll have that there. And you can see, there's the CBI building. Yeah, so I'm not sure if they've ever been on a list like that before. So good for Iraq. All right, we're at 31 minutes, so we're going to end here. Let's see what this week brings. But I'm not expecting too much if the focus seems to be on Sudani going to Iran, even though that's one day, literally, actually, it'll be hours more than likely, just hours out of the day. But it seems to be a pretty important meeting. Also, there's let me just show you this. Economic protest in several Iranian cities, and mind you, they'll just blow them away. They don't, Iran is not tied to whoever that group is that monitors human atrocities. So these people that are out here protesting, they're literally putting their lives at stake. So if, let me see, if there's any reports like tomorrow of them being liquidated, is the word they use, then there's no change in the regime, right? But if these people were able to protest in peace, which right now it does seem like they were chanting enough warmongering, our tables are empty. So they are unhappy about the money. And their money is still at about 800,000 reals to $1. Oh, and also they've been putting, let's see, there's an article, it's actually a video, but I can't translate it because it's in, and it looks like Russian. I don't know, but the fact that they put it in Iraq's news, they're trying to find German marks, a large amount too, some kind of millions of German marks that were never turned in. You know, I guess there was a time they were given. So that's interesting for them to put that in Iraq's news when we're thinking it's about time for them where they're going to need to turn in their 30 notes, right? And then also they had an article about Syria considering dropping some of the zeros off of their currency because they're having issues, right? So there's all these articles in Iraq's news about other people's currencies. So it's very interesting time. All right. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Like I said, let's get ready for this week and see what this week brings us. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Wherever you are listening or watching, if there's a subscribe, join, follow type of button, do whatever actions necessary to activate that because I don't upload regularly. So when I do upload, if all things are working as they're supposed to, you'll be notified. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame it is for you. And until next time.